The first task for you to complete in this unit is to construct a concept web that helps visualize and organize some of the major topics related to the larger unit themes. For A10, your unit theme is Challenges of Life, and for B10, you are exploring equity and ethics. Initially, you are brainstorming as many different examples and ideas as you can think of that connect to the theme and subtopics I gave you to think about. As you work with different text in the unit, you will be referring back to the concept web you create, and you will be adding to it. You should be thinking about how the text you are exploring connects to the themes and topics, and then deciding on where it fits on the web and why. Let me show you how to get started and how to start constructing your concept web. You will see here a simple outline for a concept web. You can use a computer program like Word and its features of shapes and smart art to build the outline. You can also create a similar web by hand. You'll notice that there is a large box in the middle surrounded by smaller boxes. You can use squares, circles, or bubbles to offset your areas of the web. It doesn't matter what colors you use for fonts or boxes. What matters is that your theme and subtopics are clear and easy to find quickly at a glance when you look at the page. Notice also that there is one larger box in the middle and 5 around the outside. I have set this up knowing that I have a major unit theme and 5 subtopics to consider. For this task, you know this ahead of time. Other times when you create a concept web, you may not know how many subtopics you will eventually have. That's okay. You can just keep adding to the diagram as you go along. Now it's time to decide what to put in each of the shapes on your concept web. I decided to use the largest shape in the middle for the unit theme. The unit themes are bolded at the top of each list here. The larger size of the box and centering it in the middle of the diagram helps me know that this is the central main idea that all others are connected to. When I look at the list of subtopics for each theme, I notice there are 5 bullets and I have 5 smaller squares connected to the larger central square. I know that each bullet idea then should go in its own small square. There is not enough room in the square for all the words of the subtopics, so I'm going to use only the most important when I write them in the web. I colored these here for you to see that not everything needs to go on the web. If you put all the words in, it will get cluttered and be hard to read. Take a moment and fill in your concept web using the subtopics I provided for you in the directions for this task. It is not important where each subtopic goes, as long as it is included. Now it's your turn to add additional ideas to the concept web. Around each of the subtopics, you should add examples from your own experience and from society past and present to help illustrate and explain further what each of the subtopics means. It's a good idea to have at least 3 additional examples or ideas for each subtopic as a start. Feel free to include more if you can think of more. For those of you who have completed a rough draft of your concept web, take a look at your draft and see where your initial ideas can now fit on the concept web. Which subtopic would your example best fit with? Add those in. Your unit concept web will be a work in progress for the entire unit. You will be asked to revisit the web after you explore each lesson. As you think about the main messages and purposes of the different written, audio, and visual texts you study, consider what subtopic or topics it best connects with in your web. Each assignment will ask you to add the title of the text to your concept web, as well as give a brief explanation about why you placed it where you did. You will notice here an example of what this might look like. I used an open heart from the pre-assessment work you completed. This piece works well for either unit theme, depending on how you think about the main messages. Notice how I connected it to 2 different subtopics using lines and wrote the title clearly and included a couple of lines to explain how it fit with those subtopics. It's important to keep up adding to your concept web, as you'll be using it to organize and prepare a summary piece later in the course. Please let me know if you need help creating your concept web. I'll be checking in with you frequently to see how your concept web is looking.